Hey, financial besties. Hey, financial besties. How you doing? How you been? How you doing? How you been? I thought I would be able to maintain this 7 p.m. schedule, but y'all, I'm struggling. So this will be the last live stream I do at 7 p.m. because now that I'm fully adjusted to my new time zone in my new home, getting up at 6:30 a.m. to prep to go live at 7 a.m. It's not the business. It feels too much like work. I jumped up like I was late for work. I said, "Oh no. Oh no. This is not possible. This is not the life I live anymore." So y'all, after today, our official time for the live stream will move to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are officially going to move to 8 p.m. Eastern Time because 8 p.m. your time on the East Coast in the United States is 8 a.m. my time in Kuala Lumpur. So I plan to be on this side of the world for the foreseeable future. So I need to adjust as my life changes. I hope you understand. I hope you'll still join me live. And we may reevaluate again if 8 a.m. starts to feel like a struggle, and we may just change the whole day. But we'll see. But for now, after today, the new time for the live stream will be Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But all right, let's get into the topic. What are we talking about? What are we talking about today? We're all stock market investors in here, at least most of us. Some of us are aspiring stock market investors, which I love it. And those of us who are stock market investors, we invest in quality companies and funds because we want our money to make money babies, right? But some people sometimes choose to invest in whatever they think will grow their portfolio fast because they want to make money fast. So in this video, I want to talk about some terrible investments to avoid, especially if you plan to retire early. I need you to avoid these at all costs. All right. But before we get started, let me introduce myself. Y'all know, hey besties. If you're joining me live, let me check the chat over here. Y'all, I'm dragging. Give me a minute to catch up. I know I'm not bringing the usual energy. I'm going to catch up in a minute. The sun is not even up here yet. I'm looking at this beautiful big window. The sun is rising. I can't see it as good as the last place I was in because I have an obstructed view now. I see a bunch of tall, high-rise buildings, but I see the sun trying to come up behind it. Such a beautiful morning, but the sun ain't even up yet. Y'all, I can't get up before the sun. When I wasn't adjusted to the time zone, my body was automatically getting up before the sun. But now I'm adjusted. I am living life with the locals. And this is a struggle. But anyway, hey besties, if you're joining me live, drop some money babies in the chat. Drop some money babies so I will know you're here. And let me know how you're feeling. How you feeling where you are? Is it Friday night, Friday afternoon? Where are you in the world? How are you feeling? And how do you adjust to new time zones when you travel around the world? How does that usually affect you? But if you're watching a replay, I'm sure you've chosen to watch at whatever time is convenient for you. So this don't affect you at all. But I love you too. So comment replay gang so I will know that you were here. And shout out to my channel members, the besties and the VIP besties. My brain ain't working today, so I can't call your names. Charge it to my mind and not my heart, but I see you. I see you, I see you, and I appreciate you. If you want to become a channel member, support the channel and support the mission of helping 100 Black women become millionaires. You can tap that join button right below this video and join the channel membership. I appreciate your support always. And if you're new to me, hey girl, hey. My name is Malika. I'm a money coach and the founder of Fabulous Financials. As I mentioned, I'm on a mission to help 100 Black women become millionaires by investing in the stock market. Because it's not as complicated as the finance bros want us to believe. I promise you it ain't. Subscribe to my channel and you'll see what I mean. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me say hello to my friends, to my besties in the house. Y'all forgive me if I'm moving slow today. This all I got to give. This all I got today. Hey Eileen, my good sis, always in the house. I appreciate your support, Eileen. I really do. Hey Elle, another dedicated bestie that's always in the house. I appreciate you too. Hey Miss B, how are you, sis? Hey Tanya Brooks, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you been? Sashana, good morning. Good evening, ladies, but thank you for saying good morning to me. I'm here. It's very early, but I'm here. Dominique, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you been? Is this a new name? Welcome, sis. TJ Rizabel? How you doing? How you been? Pink Door Divas, good morning to you. I like your name. How cute. You know I love pink. And what's up? Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. I haven't seen you in a minute, but glad to see you back. Glad to see you back. Winnie B, what's up? Winnie B from Houston. Jacqueline, what's up? Jacqueline from South Carolina. Let's see. I think I said hello to everyone. Oh, no, I didn't. Miss one more. Uh-oh. No, I highlighted the wrong comment. Y'all, expect that today. Alona, hey girl, hey. How you doing? How you been? I'm so happy to see y'all. So happy to see y'all. Elle, I am in Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia. I'll do a separate video. Maybe next week's video, we can talk about travel. I really like it here. I like it a lot. Not as much as my favorite country, which I'll be going to next. And the only reason why I'm saving that for last, I'm saving the best for last, where I'll plant my feet, because I want to celebrate my birthday there. I have a milestone birthday coming up, and I want it to be in my favorite country in the world. But for now, I'm in Malaysia. I'm really enjoying it. I like Malaysia a lot. So I'll be here for a while, for several months. And every day I find something else that I appreciate about this country. But we'll do a separate video on Malaysia. I plan to bop around Malaysia and visit different regions, and I'll share as I go. But next week, we'll talk more about travel, about my travels and my unofficial move abroad. Oh, you said you're exhausted this week, drained you. I feel you, girl. Look, it's a little off topic. We're gonna get into the topic, y'all, I promise. But I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's another video topic we need to do. I need to talk to my sisters that are planning to retire early, that already have the millions in their portfolio, so they're ready to retire early, or traditional retirement is right around the corner, and you want to work just one more year. You want to work just one more month. I've been there. I've been there, sis. I know exactly how you feel. Thinking just one more year. In fact, that is an official retirement syndrome. I think there's a name for it. It's called the one more year. We all go through it, but we're going to do a separate video so we can get into that topic because it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So I understand your struggle. I understand. You have the money, but you keep holding out for some reason. You keep holding out. I get it. Dominique, you try to sleep on flights to different time zones and arrive at my destination in the morning. Helps me to adjust to the new time zone. Okay, okay. Apparently that doesn't work very well for me because I did a lot of sleeping on my flight and I did arrive in the morning. It takes me about 3 days to fully adjust to the time zone. Not just my sleep schedule, I mean my biological schedule. Uh, Not to get too TMI, but your biles are not going to move just because the sun came up. If you are biologically not adjust to that new time zone. And until your bowel movement adjusts, I know I'm getting way TMI. Your body is not physically adjusted. Your hunger signals are not physically adjusted. You have to physically adjust before your mind can really adjust. And it takes me about 3 days for my body to adjust. And I've been here now for 3 weeks, not quite a month. And I'm just starting to get 100% adjusted where my sleep at night is uninterrupted. It's like I'm used to this time zone now. Um, Even last week when we met, it was so easy for me to pop up at 5:30 in the morning because I was still slightly ahead of the time zone and I was just waking up at random hours. Now I go to sleep at 9, 10 p.m. at the latest. Well, maybe 11. And I rise when the sun rises. I rise naturally. Except today I jumped up because I didn't want to be late. But I do all of that too. And it takes me a while when I cross multiple time zones. When I cross more than 3 time zones, it takes me a while to adjust. I don't know if it's the age or what, but uh, it takes me a minute. It takes me a minute. Jacqueline says, "What's my favorite country?" Who knows what my favorite country is? If you have been a bestie for a minute, you know what it is. We done been on videos together, crying together, talking about my experiences in that country. You know what it is. If you've been a bestie for a minute, y'all tell her what is my favorite country. Hello, Dr. Donna. I am so happy to see you. Yeah, you get it, Dominique. It's a struggle when you cross multiple time zones. It really is. But anyway, y'all, let's get into the topic. I love chit chatting with y'all. And the way I'm moving today, I would rather just chit chat with you. But I do want to share some insight with you. As a 20 plus year seasoned investor, I've seen it all. I've seen some of my clients do it before they come to me, and then I get you together. I've seen other people do it on social media, then months later they're crying and not really crying. They might be crying, but then they complaining on social media because they don't understand what went wrong. I've seen it all. I've been around long enough to see it all. And I have three Three terrible investments that I want you to avoid. Um, if you've made some terrible investments or some investing mistakes, let me know in the chat. Even in the chat to let me know if you made some bad investments in the past or some mistakes that you regret and you learned from. So let me know in the chat what those terrible investments were and tell us what you learned from it, because I always want to pass on the lessons learned. And that's what I'm going to do tonight. I am going to share 3 terrible investments and give you some of my insight with lessons learned from others. But the first terrible investment that I want you to y'all, Ali, I'm gonna get you. Y'all are funny. I am not gonna put that comment on the screen, but shit. I'm gonna get you, Ali. Hey, Dr. Donna. I love to see the money babies. Yes, love to see the money babies. The financial besties know what my favorite country is. They in the chat. But the first terrible investment that I want you to hold on. I made tea. I should have made coffee. I'm not a real big coffee drinker. I usually don't need to rely on stimulants to make me do anything. Now that I'm retired, I just move naturally with the day. So I'm not a coffee drinker, but I feel like I need some today. But the first terrible investment I want you to avoid is meme coins. Meme coins or any cryptocurrency that does not have a legitimate use case. Any cryptocurrency that does not have a legitimate use case. And an example of what I mean is Dogecoin. Dogecoin was created by some software engineers that wanted to create a payment system as a joke. They were actually making fun of the speculation in cryptocurrencies. And it boggles my mind how many people don't know the history of it. How many people that don't understand cryptocurrency use cases. So they jump on the bandwagon of what's trendy and what's popular, what everyone is talking about on social media, and they put their hard-earned money into this crap. I did some research on Dogecoin to share with you because despite the fact that it was created as a joke, some people actually consider it a legitimate investment. That boggles my mind. Dogecoin actually has a huge online community of people that love it. If you go onto Reddit and type in Dogecoin, you will find all types of chats and communities talking about Dogecoin. I'm going to share some facts about this fake coin. And I'm going to read them from my notes to give you some history on how something that's not real can take off, and people who just want to make money fast, they jump on the bandwagon because of these trending things that's happening. I'm going to read from my notes now so I can share some of these details with you. But Dogecoin was introduced to the stock market in December 2013, and it reached its peak market capitalization of over $85 billion in May 2021. It's crazy to me. I'm going to jump forward to 2021 because that's when Dogecoin really, really went wild. So in January You all might remember the uh, what was the other trending thing that was going on? The short squeeze. The short squeeze that retail investors were doing in order to squeeze out the hedge fund managers, the hedge fund companies that were shorting Dogecoin and shorting two other companies we're going to talk about next. So the retail investors were buying it up intentionally to squeeze them out, to force the hedge fund companies to lose billions of dollars. Do y'all remember that in January 2021? Well, that is when Dogecoin really, really took off during that short squeeze, during that squeeze to make the hedge fund managers lose a lot of money. Dogecoin went up over 800% in just 24 hours. 800% in just 24 hours because the Reddit users drove it up. They were buying it up because they were squeezing out hedge fund managers. It was like a unified collective effort. I ain't never seen nothing like it in the world. In fact, it made history because this never happened in the stock market before. Retail investors don't have that much numbers. They don't have that much power to be able to squeeze out an institutional investor. Like, you need power and numbers to make something like that happen. So that's why this was like a historical, monumental moment. I was watching it from the sidelines and laughing my behind off. But anyway, in January 2021, Dogecoin, when they increased 800% in just 24 hours, the price was a whole 7 cents. The price was a whole 7 cents. And this short squeeze was due to encouragement by Elon Musk. It was due partially, I should say, partially due to encouragement by Elon Musk, and then the short squeeze, right? On May 4th, 2021, let me look at my notes, get the dates right. May 4th, 2021, the value of Dogecoin surpassed 50 cents. So it started as almost zero, like 0.000 and some numbers. It shot up to 7 cents in just one day. And then in a couple of months later, it was 50 cents. Just because of unified effort and encouragement by a popular CEO that was just making fun of it. Like, people were putting their money into this thing because of a joke and to make fun of the situation because hedge fund managers were losing billions of dollars. In May 2021, SpaceX, which is Elon Musk's space company, SpaceX announced a rideshare mission to the moon, completely funded by Dogecoin. It was the first space mission funded by cryptocurrency. And Elon Musk actually confirmed it on Twitter. In April 2023, Elon Musk changed the logo on Twitter to the Doge logo. When he did that, it went wild again. It went bananas. All the retail investors saw Elon Musk. They jumped on the bandwagon. They heard his announcements. They jumped on the bandwagon and started buying it up. And then later in June, Musk was accused of insider trading due to his stunts, because people were starting to believe that he was doing these things to encourage people to buy it up, and then he was profiting by selling his shares. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, so that's allegedly. That's allegedly. But as of today, Dogecoin stock is 11 cents. 11 cents. I share this because I want you to know that this coin is a freaking joke. It's a freaking joke. The stock price only changes due to people having fun, due to speculation, due to a popular CEO making moves to influence other people's decisions. It is not a legitimate cryptocurrency. It does not have a legitimate use case. There is no one around the world that's taking Dogecoin as a form of payment. So if you are serious about building wealth, a joke should not be in your portfolio. I do believe in the value of cryptocurrency. I do believe that it is going to have an an impact on future. Um, my brain isn't working. I do believe that cryptocurrency is a thing and it's here to stay, and it's global. And as we make transactions around the world, cryptocurrency will be used as a form of currency. So it is a real thing. The legitimate coins are, of course, Bitcoin. There are some other legitimate coins, some other legitimate blockchains, other legitimate things that you can invest in if you want to invest in cryptocurrency, but Dogecoin is not one of them. If you choose to invest in cryptocurrency, make sure you understand the use case. Make sure that you verify that there is a legitimate use case for the currency. Not a joke, not a stunt, not one CEO uh, doing things to manipulate the buying and selling of it. If you're serious about building wealth, do not put anything that's a joke in your portfolio. All right. Let's see what investing mistakes or what bad investments you've made in the past. Mistake was getting a Robinhood account and learned about chasing popular stocks. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that too. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what I think about Robinhood. Anybody that's in any of my coaching programs, we get them out of there with the quickness. I show you how to get up out of there with the quickness at no cost to you. When he made the same mistake, woo, everybody mentioning Robinhood. Open a Robinhood account and should have left it alone. Y'all know what I think about Robinhood. Yes. Leave that playground, leave that child's playground, and open a brokerage account with a mature brokerage that will grow with you as you become a more seasoned investor and as you start building out your portfolio. Ooh, Alona, uh-oh. You got some Dogecoin, sis. So you fell into the hype too? You jumped on that bandwagon when it was hot back in 2021, 2022? I'm sure there'll be another wave of it again, but it's a joke. If you are serious about, if you're playing with your money, you got money to play with, you got money to lose, you're gambling, ignore everything I say. I'm talking to real investors that want to build real wealth. Leave them meme coins alone. Leave them alone. And I do not believe in, well, it's only $5. Well, it's only $10. $10 could buy a meal. How long did it take you to work to earn that $10, that $20? There is no such thing as well as only. Those are employees that could be multiplying for you and making money babies instead of playing reindeer games with the kids. All right. I want my community to become seasoned investors that build real wealth. No meme coins in our portfolio, which reminds me, number 2, the second terrible investment that I want you to avoid is meme stocks. Avoid the meme coins, and I also want you to avoid the meme stocks. And the most popular meme stocks are GameStop and AMC. Y'all remember that back in January 2021 during the pandemic? I tell you, that was some wild times in the market, man. That was some wild time. It's crazy. If a company is trending and popular and it's just running up for no reason, they haven't done anything substantial within the corporation. They haven't released a very impressive quarterly report. They haven't exceeded sales or deliverables of something that they promised. There's nothing that is legitimately supporting the reason that the stock is going up. So when you see things like that happening, before you think about putting your money into it because you think you can make some money fast, stop and ask yourself, why is this going up? Why is this happening? Have you seen their financials? Has the company done something that was impressive? When you think about GameStop and AMC, it started as a squeeze, like I just described with the meme coins. It started as a squeeze, right? Hedge fund managers were shorting the stock because they saw retail investors buying it up. And they knew that GameStop and AMC did not have the financials or the fundamentals to support the run up. So they knew it was going to fall eventually. So they shorted the stock. Well, the retail investors, they have their community on Reddit. They gathered together and they started buying more and buying more and buying more. And they were willing to hold out to prop the stock up, to artificially prop the stock up just to squeeze out hedge fund managers, to force them to close their short positions and lock in their losses. Because hedge fund managers, they have a job to make money for their investors. So when they have a lot of money tied up in a short position and they are not giving those investors a return on the decision they made, that hedge they made, eventually that squeeze get tight and something got to give, especially if the price is still going up. So there was a hedge fund manager that lost a lot of money during the GameStop squeeze. And I can't even say it. GameStop short squeeze. So they were successful, but there were not any legitimate company fundamentals behind it. So when you see things like that happening, look at the fundamentals of the company. Do a quick Google to see what the company have done lately. But GameStop and AMC, have you seen their financials? There is no reason their stock should be going up the way it is. Their revenue is down year over year. In fact, with AMC, the pandemic destroyed theaters. Won't nobody going to the movies? The last time you've been inside of a movie theater since the pandemic? How many times? And how many years did you avoid the movie theater? The financials were trash. AMC was fighting for its life. There was no reason the stock should have been going up. Have you seen the financials of GameStop? They're in boatloads of debt. They were on the brink of bankruptcy until retail investors ran up the stock price and they were able to liquidate. So that company hasn't done anything impressive to increase sales, to increase revenue. They were able to avoid bankruptcy because of the money that investors put into the company. That's not investing. I invest in companies because I want the company to make money for me. I don't invest in companies because I want to give them my money so they can make money from me. They're supposed to be making money for me. So if you look at the financials of a company and you're investing to build wealth, and those financials are trash, why would you want that in your portfolio? Why would you want that in your portfolio? I think meme coins and meme stocks, they are for speculators. They are for speculators that are short-term traders. They are not to be held long-term, ever, ever. I don't care how experienced you are in the stock market. Meme stocks and meme coins are not to be held long-term. They are meant to be speculative trades, speculative short-term trades only. There are people that have made money from them because they got in, rode the wave up, and they knew when to sell to take profit off the table. Most people, I would say the majority of people that buy meme stocks and meme coins, they lose a substantial amount of money because they get in at the high after they hear about the trend, after everyone's talking about it on social media. So they jump in after the price has already run up. And then you think, oh, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to make money. And you hold it. Meanwhile, the traders over here, they know when it's reached its peak and they're selling to take profit. And you're left holding the bag because you don't know when to sell. Unfortunately, like good sis in the chat, that's still holding Dogecoin. You don't know when to sell. That's why the majority of people that buy these meme stocks and meme coins, they lose a lot of money because you don't get in until the price is already at its peak. The trend has already peaked because you don't buy it until you hear other people talking about it. By the time you hear everybody talking about something on social media, it's too late. It's too late. By the time you hear a regular person that don't even talk about the stock market mention a stock, it's too late. If you hear somebody talking about a popular stock when you're in the hair salon and that person you're talking to does not talk about finances or investing ever, baby, it's too late. It's too late. It's already at its peak. If you buy at the peak, the seasoned traders are going to sell to take profit and you will be left holding the bag. And I'm only talking about meme stocks and meme coins right now. So please, if you are serious about building wealth and you're building a portfolio because you plan to retire early, please avoid meme stocks in your portfolio. They are not for serious investors, especially serious investors that are buying shares to hold long term, because we're buying shares in legitimate companies with solid financials that can grow our wealth. Meme stocks are not for us. All right. So that's terrible investment number 2. Let me check your comments. See what we're talking about. Mistake. Selling some stocks when the market dropped during the financial crisis. Apple. Ma'am, you sold Apple. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was a mistake. We're not going to talk about that. I'm glad you corrected yourself. I'm glad you corrected yourself. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You got caught up in the AMC stock trend. You're not alone. You're not alone. She said I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. You just wanted to make some money. You thought you were gonna make some money fast, didn't you? What happened? What happened? Did you make any money or did you lose any money? Let me know. Were you left holding the bag? Were you left holding the bag? Eileen said my coworker had the GameStop stock. So that's always so hard for me to say. And when it went crazy, his account got locked, so he couldn't sell until the price dropped back to barely anything. He was in Robinhood, wasn't he? I bet you he was in Robinhood. Yep, they were all over the news because they stopped investors from selling and from taking profit. They locked them in their positions. They had to go in front of Congress to explain what happened. That was terrible. And I was on the sidelines just watching. I was like, this is a mess. It was interesting to watch because I'd never seen anything like that before. That squeeze was a historical event in the stock market. Nothing like that had ever happened before. So it was interesting to watch. And I was just like, And exactly what I thought would happen happened. And it didn't take long. So, y'all, if you're serious about building wealth and you're planning to retire early, please avoid those terrible investments. And I say terrible with an emphasis because I think they are terrible long-term investments. If you are a seasoned trader and you know how to read charts, technical analysis, by all means, do your thing. But if you're an investor and you haven't learned how to do technical analysis or fundamental analysis, girl, just stay in your lane. Stay away. Just stay away. Right. Well, he's the one that convinced you to open a Robinhood. Girl. Meanwhile, his account locked. Robinhood locked him down and forced him to take a loss. Yo, I don't fool with Robinhood. I don't fool with him. I don't fool with him. I've just bought stock in my company. I wish I had done it when I first started, but then again, the original company I worked for has changed things, merged with companies that's in place now. Okay. Mergers are not a bad thing. Buyouts are not a bad thing. Companies are built and developed with the intent to sell. So that's not always a bad thing, Jan. It's not always a bad thing. All right, let's get back to it. Terrible investment number 3. Terrible investment number 3 that I want you to avoid. If your goal is to build wealth and you're planning for early retirement, I want you to avoid investing in anything you don't understand. I don't care if Malika come on here and say, this is a great stock. I've done my research. I think it's amazing. I think it's going to go to the moon. Don't you listen to me. Don't you listen to me until you've done your own research. Like I tell my clients, I commit to giving you sound information. I commit to coaching you to the best of my ability based on what I know. I love that you trust me, but I also want you to verify. Because when it comes to your money, nobody should be influencing your financial decisions, and you have not validated what they've said. So it is a terrible investment if you take advice from someone else to buy something and you don't understand what it is. If you don't understand how a company makes money, it is not a good investment for you. Right now, NVIDIA is the most popular tech company in the world. I don't care if Barack Obama come on the screen and say, I want everybody to buy NVIDIA. This is a great company and it's going to help us keep hope alive. You better not buy it until you understand how that company makes money. Never, ever invest in anything you don't understand. When I say do your own research, what I mean is to do your fundamental analysis. Who runs the company? How do they make money? How much money did they make in the past quarter? How much debt do they have? Do they have enough cash to float when the debt becomes due? What is the real value of this stock? What does the CEO forecast for the future? Where is this company going? Those are just a few things, a few questions that you ask yourself when you're doing fundamental analysis. In my coaching program, I teach my clients how to do fundamental analysis. I take you through my, five steps, my 5-step process. I have a template that I provide. There's also a masterclass on it, but I teach my clients how to do fundamental analysis. If you don't understand how a company makes money, how much money it has made, and how much money it forecasts it's going to make, it is not a good investment for you. Even if I think it's a good investment for me. And the reason why is because if you don't understand and someone else said, hey, you should buy XYZ, and you buy it and you don't understand it, you have no idea when that person plans to sell it. You have no idea when the fundamentals of the company changes. So the information that I had available to me today, when I made the decision today to judge that that company was a good company today, that may change in the future. And because I'm doing fundamental analysis, my opinion of that company may change in the future. I'm never married to any company ever. I have my favorites. You probably have heard me talk about them, but I'm never married to any company ever. I only do business with companies that's going to make me money. And my opinion of that company may change. I may not share my opinion when it changes. So if you buy because someone else says it was a good company, or because I said it was a good company, when my opinion of it changed and I don't tell you that my opinion changes and I sell, or I start shaving profit, I'm not telling you every decision I make. So I'm profiting from that decision based on my analysis. And then in the future, when things change and you lose money and you're left holding the bag because you didn't understand how the company made money anyway, and you're holding the bag and the company has changed. Don't do that. Always, always do your own analysis. Trust but verify. And I say that with anyone that you get financial information from, including myself. Trust but verify. Validate what I say. When I'm coaching you, I never ever share anything that can't be validated. In fact, while I'm coaching you, I'll most likely share the sources of where I'm getting my information from, but I still want you to validate it for yourself. Because when things change, You need to be aware when things change so you're not left holding the bag. There are a lot of great companies in this world. They will not forever be great companies. If you look back at, I would say, the top 10 holdings of the S&P 500 20 years ago, it's not the same top 10 companies today. But 20 years ago, those were great companies. They were amazing companies. But something changed. So until you learn how to do fundamental analysis, you won't know when something changed. And if you're waiting for the next trend, or you're waiting for the media, or you're waiting for someone to publicly tell you that something changed, you've already lost, because you're holding the bag, because the people that have done their analysis, they've already sold and they've taken their profit, or they minimized their losses. So I don't want you to be left holding the bag ever. So do not invest in anything you don't understand. All right. I'm going to give you some examples of someone that I know that is currently a client now, but when this happened, she was not a client. Unfortunate, but she invested based on trending topics, and she lost a lot of money. A lot of money. So I had this client that came to me just this year, I think in March, April timeframe this year. And she told me that last year, 2023, well, actually started at the latter part of 2022. 2022 and 2023, she started heavily investing in an EV company, electric vehicle company, because everyone on social media said it was going to be the next Tesla. People are always trying to find the next best, the next great. And they think, oh, I can get in on the bottom and catch the trend going up, catch the wave going up, because it's going to be the next best one. Before I move on, my thoughts about the next best: don't focus on what's next. Focus on what's going to make you money right now. Focus on the companies that are proven themselves right now that their revenue is growing, that are proven right now that they're innovative, that are proven right now that they're delivering on their promises, that are proven right now that their financials show proof of their growth. Invest in companies that are going to prove to you right now that they can make money for you right now. We don't invest based on the past, based on what a company did before, and we just gonna hope and pray that they can do it again. We don't invest based on what a company is promising in the future, and we hope and pray it's gonna work out. Hope is not an investing strategy. We make investing decisions based on what we can validate right now. But there was this trend back in 2022. I remember this vividly as well. I tell you, it's a whole lot of janky stuff that went on in the market during the pandemic. It was the greatest wealth transfer of all times. In fact, I benefited greatly from this jankiness because I saw it from the sidelines and I'm like, this is trash. This is trash. And those decisions I made, that's why I'm able to live in Malaysia for several months. So I share these things from experience. I want you to avoid these terrible investments. And I'm going to share this client experience. She gave me permission to share it. when I told her what I was talking about in this live stream. And I want you to avoid making these mistakes. But anyway, this next EV company that was supposed to be the next great Tesla is called Rivian. Have you heard of Rivian? It's called Rivian. I'm going to pull up my notes again because I want to share some details. I want to share some data, some facts about what happened so that you can understand why it's important to do your own research. So you can see the impact of investing in trendy things that you have not verified and validated for yourself. I want you to see the results of you jumping on a trendy bandwagon and blindly following what someone said on social media. Right? But Rivian, this company, it promised, hold on, let me pull up my notes. So I want to be able to share the facts that I researched from actual legitimate media resources, CNN, CNBC, and I also read a lawsuit. But the company promised groundbreaking innovation in the EV industry. It showed commercials of its EV vehicles showing the speed and the performance. I wish I could share the commercial with you. I saw that commercial and I was like, this is a mess. And it made it seem like they had thousands of cars on back order that they were planning to deliver in the next quarter or the next year. But when the truth came out that everything was a lie, all the things that this company said they were able to do, that they were going to do, it all came out as a lie. And shareholders filed a class action lawsuit for damages because when they were making all of these promises, there were shareholders that just took them at their word. There was no proof. There were no financials to support it. This is why it's so important for you to look at companies' financials when you're investing in individual stock. There were no financials to support these gross promises that they were making. But investors took them at their word, thought they were going to be the next Tesla because Tesla had gone on a run so many times. It had multiple stock splits, and they thought it was too late to invest in Tesla. So they wanted to put their money in the next Tesla while it was starting to grow. Between 2021 was an interesting year in the stock market. Between 2021 and 2023, because of these promises, because of these empty promises, Rivian stock became trendy. And a lot of people started investing in the company. But I'm going to share some details from the news reports that I read and from the lawsuit. It says the lawsuit seeks to recover damages against defendants, which is Rivian, for alleged violations of the federal securities law on behalf of all persons and entities that purchase or otherwise acquired Rivian securities between August 12, 2022 and February 21st, 2024. That date range is now considered the class action period. There is a link for investors that want to join the class action lawsuit. If you did invest in Rivian stock, if you did, let me know. I'll share the link. Otherwise, I won't share it. There is no one other than this one client that I personally know that invested in Rivian. But here are a few details from the class action lawsuit. According to the complaint, Rivian, they design, develop, manufacture, and sell electric vehicles. The complaint alleges that throughout the class period, the date ranges that I just mentioned, Rivian made materially false and misleading statements regarding the company's business, operations, and future prospects. Specifically, defendants made false statements, misleading statements, and or failed to disclose several things. And this is important, so I'm going to share these things. Rivian overstated the demand for its electronic vehicles. They overstated the demand. This is why investors were swayed and they thought it was going to be the next Tesla. Rivian concealed the negative effect of inflation and high interest rates, the effect that they would have on the demand for electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are expensive. So a lot of people have to finance the electric vehicles. When interest rates are high, people aren't buying them because it's too expensive to borrow money. Rivian also did not disclose the impact of the shortage of chips, the impact it was going to have on the manufacturing of its electric vehicles. The number of orders that Rivian had decreased significantly due to cancellations because there were no chips available. There was a chip shortage. There were no chips available to create anything that requires technology. So a lot of people were canceling their orders. Rivian failed to disclose that. Rivian failed to ramp up its production of EVs at the rate that it claimed. And then it says all the foregoing was likely to and did negatively impact the company's anticipated earnings and vehicle production targets for 2024. As a result, the company's public statements were materially false and misleading during the class period. And on February 21, 2024, just this year, according to the complaint, Rivian announced its fourth quarter earnings and full year 2023 financial results. And this is what led to the class action lawsuit, right? In its fourth quarter earnings, all publicly traded companies, by law, they have to release information to its shareholders. So it wasn't until February 2024 that Rivian released this information to its shareholders. In the quarterly earnings, they announced that it expected to produce 57,000 vehicles in all of 2024, which is significantly lower than the 80,000 vehicles that they promised and analysts expected. Rivian forecasted an EBITDA that's a financial metric that investors use when we're doing fundamental analysis. But EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. They forecasted a loss of $2.7 billion for the full year 2024, compared to the $2.59 billion that analysts expected them to make. They also announced that they were going to cut 10% of their salaried staff, citing economic uncertainty and historically high rates. After this earnings report was released, the stock price fell by 25.6%. It fell by 25.6%. I share this because I want you to understand the risk that you're taking when you're investing in individual stock and you don't know how to do fundamental analysis and you're not locked in on the process of monitoring what the company is doing. If you are not listening to those quarterly earnings reports, if you are not reading the earnings reports, if you're not listening to the earnings calls, you will be left holding the bag. As soon as this quarterly report was released, all the individual companies I own, I'm on those calls, every last one of them. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because, number one, I don't own a whole bunch of different companies. When it comes to investing in individual companies, I don't believe in diversification and having 20 different companies in my portfolio. That's a raggedy portfolio. I zero in, I focus on companies that I have identified are the best of the best. And I know they are the best, not because they're popular, because I've done my research. And I'm monitoring what they're doing for me. That CEO reports to me every quarter what he or she is doing for me. I want to know. So I'm on that call. If I don't have time to be on that call, trust and believe I'm watching the replay. If I don't have time to watch the replay, or if they say something in the replay that raised my spidey senses, trust and believe I'm pulling that report and I'm going through it with a fine-tooth comb. All right? So if you're not doing those things when you invest in individual stock, you don't know when the company releases this information like this. So when the stock price fell 25%, if you have no idea what happened because you're not doing your fundamentals, you're holding the bag when the stock price dropped 25%. If I was invested in this company, if I wouldn't have been because none of their claims were verified. If I were invested in this company and I was on that quarterly earnings call, please believe me, at 9:30 a.m. the next morning, I was selling everything. I would have been selling everything. But if you don't listen to the earnings call, if you don't read the earnings reports, if you are not following the fundamentals, the financials at least of the companies that you're invested in, you will be left holding the bag when something like this becomes public. And you will have no idea why. Why did the stock drop 25%? You'll see all the red in your portfolio and you'll be wondering why it dropped. You have no idea why. And then you will hold it hoping it will go back up. Hope is not an investing strategy. So according to the complaint, because of Rivian's wrongful acts and omissions and the resulting decline in the stock, investors suffered significant losses and damages. That is what's cited in the lawsuit. And the client that came to me just this year that was heavily invested in Rivian, she lost over $100,000 because Rivian made promises that they could not deliver on. There were no financials to support the claims that they were making. And people jumped on the bandwagon simply because the stock was trending. My suggestion to you is to never, ever invest in anything you don't understand. All right? The flip side of this is I do have many clients that are building 6 and 7 figure portfolios. They have investments across the sectors. There are 11 sectors in the S&P 500. They have investment across the various sectors with a mix of quality stocks, with a mix of bonds, because we talk about asset allocation, risk tolerance, and risk capacity in my coaching program. Some of them also have a portfolio that is heavy in index funds, and several of them also have real estate. So they have a balanced approach that is well researched, because I teach them how to do that research. And that balanced approach, it helps them to weather the volatility in the market and build wealth long term. We're not investing in trends. Some of my clients, they do invest in cryptocurrency, but they invest in the cryptocurrency that have legitimate use cases. None of my clients are investing in trendy meme stocks. None of my clients are investing in trendy meme stocks. And those who are my clients that invested in trendy stocks because social media made it popular, they have felt the impact of the decision that they've made, and they're learning how to invest properly now. I would say if you are not at the point in your investing journey where you have the time to do fundamental analysis or technical analysis. Some people have no desire to learn how to do those things, and that's okay. You don't have to do those things to invest. I strongly recommend those things when you invest in individual stocks, but you don't have to do those things to invest. So instead of investing in high risk things, speculative stocks, meme coins, and a bunch of stuff that you don't understand, if you don't want to take the time to learn how to do fundamental and technical analysis, I would suggest that you just stick to index funds. Just stick to index funds, at least until you learn how to do analysis. Otherwise, you will be left holding the bag when something in the company changes. And the beauty of index funds, especially for a beginner investor, it diversifies your portfolio for you. So you don't have to worry about stock picking to make sure that your portfolio is diversified across the sectors. And that diversification helps you to reduce risk, which is what you want when you're building wealth, especially if you're planning to retire early. You want the diversification and you want the reduced risk. So if you're not doing fundamental analysis and technical analysis, stick to the index funds. Stick to the index funds. But if you do want to elevate, and earn more than the average 10% return in the stock market, and you want that higher return by investing in individual companies, you need to learn how to do fundamental analysis at minimum. It's also great to learn how to do technical analysis because you'll know when to sell. Not necessarily say you need to be trading, especially not short term, but you can also buy something in 2022 and decide to sell in 2025. Knowing how to do technical analysis helps you to determine when to sell, right? But at minimum, even if you don't want to learn technical analysis, if you're investing in individual companies, it is imperative that you learn how to do fundamental analysis. And if you don't want to learn how to do fundamental analysis, stick to index funds. Stick to index funds. All right. If you want to learn more smart investing strategies, y'all know I have two programs. I have the Your Road to 100K and my Invest with Ease group coaching program. Road to 100K is a course. It's a mini course. And Invest with Ease is a group coaching program. Road to 100K is for beginners that want to build your first six-figure portfolio. And I would say that's a good place for beginners to build a portfolio for retirement, right? I will share the link in the live chat, and I'll make sure it's also in the description box, in the video description for those who are interested. But the Road to 100K is for beginner investors that want to build your first six-figure portfolio, right? But the Invest with Ease program is for investors that already have six figures and you want to grow your current portfolio to seven figures and beyond. And I would say Invest with Ease program is more so for people that are targeting financial freedom, that are targeting a millionaire, targeting because you want to become a millionaire. So that seven figures and beyond is what my Invest with Ease program is for. These are for the more seasoned investors that want to continue learning and continue growing and get into the fundamental analysis and the technical analysis so that we can get those higher returns. But I shared the link in the live chat, and I also will put the link in the description if it isn't already there. So I'm going to go back through your comments to see if there were any questions, to see if I missed any conversation, and then we'll wrap up. Let's see. I was late coming in, but I got my money babies for it. I see you, Miss Jed. What are your thoughts on, hey, Dr. Keisha, that's a new name. Welcome, new bestie. What are your thoughts on socially responsible investing? I do have some clients that socially responsible investing is important to them. I believe that if the social impact of things is important to you, it's okay for you to choose investments that align with your values and your goals, right? Um, Personally, for me, I don't commingle social impacts of things with building wealth. And the reason why is because it is my opinion, and this is just my opinion only, it's no judgment against you if you choose to invest in a socially responsible way. It is my opinion that if I build wealth, I can use my wealth to have more of a social impact that's aligned with my values, right? I cannot control what these companies do that may not be socially responsible. But if there's a way that I can profit from what they're already doing anyway, and then I can take my financial gains to pour into what I believe in, what I value, that one financial decision I made is helping more of the greater good that I care about versus me choosing to not invest or choosing to not make that financial decision. And then the things that I value and the things that are important to me, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to change it. Money changes things. So I don't commingle my personal opinions with the companies that I choose to invest in. I choose to invest in companies that are fundamentally sound, that I understand the business structure. I believe in what the CEO is doing, and I can see and understand the forecast of where they're going. That's it. I choose my investments based on fundamental analysis and technical analysis. I do not commingle my opinion of social responsibility when it comes to investing. I believe I can have a greater impact on the things that I value and the things that affects my community if I have money. Me complaining about it is not doing anything to help my community. Me being morally or ethically taking the moral or ethical high road, I should say, is not making any changes in my community. We make change with money. For those that choose to do socially responsible investing, there are, what's it called? There are ratings. So when you're doing your fundamental analysis, right, there are ratings that your broker will assign to let you know if this is a socially responsible company or socially responsible index fund. And that will help you choose those more socially responsible investments. The only problem I have with that, though, is I don't know how truly valuable that rating is. Because it's similar to like food companies being able to put a organic label on their product. But then when you read the ingredients, it's like, is this really organic? And there are like criteria that the FDA have established in order for a product to be considered organic, but it still allows a small percentage of pesticides, a small percentage of chemicals that could be harmful, but it still can be labeled organic. So in terms of like the socially responsible labels of investing, if a company gets that label, if they're able to earn that rating, does that mean that that company never, ever does anything that impacts what you value? Who's judging that? Who's monitoring that? Right? Who's monitoring that? And what small percentage do they allow to let slide so that company can maintain its rating? Right? Furthermore, I do not believe that there is a corporation in this world that is financially profitable enough to be considered a good investment that will help you build wealth that has never done anything that wasn't socially responsible. I don't believe it. I believe the most socially responsible corporations, they're not publicly traded. They're privately owned. And they don't go public because they want to maintain their values. So it's a gray area. It's a gray area in finding companies that are socially responsible, that are truly 100% socially responsible. It's a gray area, aligning your values with your investments, if that's important to you. But I personally think I can have a greater impact on what I value when I have money. Right? So that's my thought on socially responsible investing. It does not influence my investing decisions at all. I was wondering, Dominique, who was doing their books when they were misleading the public. Yeah. Just lost your breath. Yeah. Good sis lost a good chunk of change. She lost a good chunk of change. So now we're trying to clean up her portfolio and trying to help her establish a strategy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Have Coinbase and Dogecoin. Ooh, Louise. Ma'am. I did not create this video to judge anyone if you have already made these terrible investments. But I do hope that you take something away from this video and you understand the impact that these terrible investments can have on your portfolio. So if you have these things in your portfolio right now, I just hope that what you learn in this video, it helps you to not add any more money to it. And it also helps you to prevent making the mistake again in the future. All right. But I don't want to judge anyone that has already done it. I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to feel guilty, feel bad about it. What's done is done. What's in the past is the past. But what we can do is make better investing decisions going forward. Okay. Jan, the company might treat their workers well, but they might buy parts from overseas companies that are not very kind. Exactly. So when we are trying to commingle our social values with our investments, it creates gray areas like that. There is no corporation in this world that is profitable, that's worth investing in, that's socially responsible. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. And if you disagree, prove me wrong. Send me a DM. Send me an email, moneycoachmalika@gmail.com. Send me an email to show me a company that's socially responsible and that you prefer to invest in because you think they're socially responsible. Prove me wrong. I will stand corrected. I don't know everything. There are thousands and thousands of companies in the stock market. I don't know them all. So prove me wrong. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. What are your thoughts on investing in local small businesses? I love the idea of investing in local small businesses. I have not done it yet. Other than buying products and services from local small businesses, especially Black-owned businesses. That's my jam. But in terms of investing in them, I have not done it yet. One of my goals, once I reach my next financial target, one of my goals is to start investing in, I want to become an angel investor. And I want to start investing in private companies. I want to be one of those investors that can hear your business plan, hear your marketing plan. And if I think it's a great idea and you need funding to get your business off the ground, I want to be one of those investors that give you the seed capital to get started. Right? That's my next goal. I always tell y'all there's levels to this money game, right? That's my next level that I aspire to get to. I'm not there yet. I want to reach this next target that will give me reassurance that I have set up my mini me for everything I think he will need. Um, and once I reach that next number, then I'll be able to redirect my focus outside of myself and my family and start looking at how I can help others that are doing things that I think is important in the world, that I think is important in our community. I would love to do that, but I haven't done it. I haven't done it yet. But it's my goal. It's my goal. Hopefully by 2026, I'll be in a position to start doing that. Yeah. Similar to Shark Tank. Yep. Yes. I would want to start investing in small businesses, especially Black women-owned businesses. But yeah, I think I've gone through all of the comments and questions. I don't see any new ones. So with that, if you are interested in learning how to learn to invest, I see you, Shalonda. Hey, girl. Hey, you're never too late. I love to see you in the comments. You're never too late. But if you want to learn more smart investing strategies, you want to learn how to build your portfolio, the Your Road to 100K course is for the beginners that are building their first 6 figures. And the Invest with Ease program is for current investors that want to grow beyond 6 figures to 7 figures and beyond. I put the link in the comments. Let me see if I can put them on the screen for those that are watching. That's the link to Your Road to 100K, bit.ly/Your Road to 100K. And then the link to Invest with Ease is bit.ly/Work with Malika. So unless you all have any other questions, I'm going to get out of here. Hey, Tamika, look, my besties. These are my OG financial besties in the sister circle. Yes. The last video I talked about my sister circle, but not gonna get into it today. I'm ready to log off here. Go get me some breakfast. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I don't have the sunlight that I had in my last Airbnb because I'm in the city now. And all these high rises blocking the sun. But it's a beautiful day. So I'm about to get in these streets to go find me some breakfast. And I'm going on a food tour this evening, going to taste a bunch of different Malaysian foods and fruits and drinks. I look forward to that. But in the next video, we'll talk some more about, no, not investing. In the next video, we're going to talk about travel. We're going to talk about travel, some slow travel, some vacation travel, some moving abroad travel, and I'll share my travels. I'll share some of the experiences I've been having here in Malaysia. I'll share why I like it so much and why it's rising up my list of countries to consider for residency. But anyway, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. And share it with other women investors that need to understand the 3 terrible investments to avoid. But until next time, please continue learning. Even if you don't learn from me, please continue learning, and it will elevate your investing journey. And as always, continue investing too. Continue contributing on a consistent basis to your portfolio so we can build wealth and live what we love. All right. Until next time, bye for now.